Now I'm going to talk about power factor, or major versus minor. When this sport was originally conceived by Jeff Cooper back in 1977, he and some others decided that 9mm were generally inferior to the .45 ACP. Due to bullet construction at that time, which was basically full metal jacket, that was pretty much true. However, with modern bullet technology, even small calibers are deadly. This power factor provides a level playing field and is actually quite fair. The 9mm, because it has less recoil, should be faster to shoot. The formula for computing major or minor power factor is actually quite simple. It's your bullet weight in grains multiplied by your velocity in feet per second. You need a minimum of 125 power factor to even score in this sport at all. The minor power factor is 125.0 to 164.999, and major is 165.0 and above. I'll give you some examples of how this works. A 9mm bullet weighing 124 grains multiplied by a velocity of 1,050 feet per second gives you a power factor of about 130. 130 is actually where you want to be shooting minor because you need a little room for error. Again, if you drop under 125, your score doesn't count at all. A .45 bullet weighing 230 grains times 730 feet per second gives you a power factor of about 168. Again, that leaves you some room for error above the 165 power factor floor for major power factor. Now let's look at a .40, which was not around when this sport was invented, but is a very popular caliber, especially in limited and limited 10 division. A 180 grain bullet times 935 feet per second gives you a power factor of about 168, which again leaves you a little room for error when making major. I'd like to review the difference between these major and minor power factors on the targets again. Remember, the A is worth 5 points with either major or minor. A C is worth 4 points in major, but only 3 points in minor. A D is worth 2 points in major, but only 1 in minor. One other thing I'd like to remind you is the production division is always minor, no matter what caliber you're shooting. If you're shooting factory loads, you want to find one that has the power factor as close as you can get to what you need for the division you're shooting. If you load your own ammunition, you can tailor that to get exactly what you want. And some bullet and powder combinations have less recoil than others, so that's one big advantage of reloading besides the cost. We measure bullet velocity with a chronograph. That's a simple device. It's actually rather inexpensive, and it will be available at the ranges quite often. And at major matches, your ammunition is typically chronographed at a separate stage where they determine by weighing your bullets and multiplying your velocity whether you make major or minor. The next thing I'd like to talk about is range commands, and that'll be on the next segment.